to me, I'm not born out here. Was there a problem with your centre backs now?
No.
There wasn't.
Until then, what
has your born for? No, we are so comfortable.
Maybe for one, I've not said there was a problem with the centre back. I think I was centre backs are solid. But see, Rich, Ayala, in management of this squad, Otuado could have done better. He could have done better in the sense that because also defenders now on the campuna. There were more defenders who are better in terms of even pressing. You see, there are times where coaches about 2 fullbacks, 1 wing, so without a winger. Why? Because after 10 minutes, you manage that with intensity to be a defender. You don't bring in Ibrahim Osman. What's Ibrahim Osman coming to do? Kamadin Suleiman or Baba Yedin at that point in time.
5 minutes or so. Young closing game, they see 3 points.
From the 70th minute, it was clear. Say go be and baby. You shut up shop. Share again. Ayala, we all knew. Say Jiku had a problem and will not be able to travel. Senior centre back, we should have augmented this. It's like a solution. I had a sebo conversation started back because when is a party a practitioner or granted the end of But a pressure, what if you got there and after training, he says that, you know what, I can't play on this surface.
But even your friend can't continue. Time Ben or travel or
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when the list came, when we realized that Jiku is not unavailable, it was on the day or even before the day players maybe drew Ghana. It is Spain. It is Europe and Africa. Mm-hmm. Finding a flight and you have to go and book and come back later. Oh, here visa.
You see,
he's coming to
when we knew Jukumano,
we should have augmented the squad because it is true. The squad is thin. Ubo Jonah Jeti, Tyree George, I won't play him. Tyree Clampty, I won't play him. Calibre was already in the team. And Makani several times said before you look at Obi said Derek Atakon, some players in it's their debut and stuff like that. You don't want to probably throw him in such a place. But it is a point where in this game you have Seba slots in, and then you make sure you augment for some of these issues.
Kofi, this is my point. Let's say, sir, Charlie Timmy boy. Yes, players they good no. I mean, I'm quality they way ahead of this players. And if this come away,
you see, and no how people see a Neoma and do the analysis about it. Senior Fifi can say, even if Partey was sick, we don't need Partey to beat Chad. It is the same if we had a situation with Jiku. We didn't need Jiku to beat Chad. And said, the center halves, there was no problem with them. They played very well.
Keep a crunch.
Time and a game no air cost, we needed Jiku. Time and a game no cost, we needed Jiku. Semeka said we don't need Partey to play Chad or to win against Chad. I'm saying that and it's a Partey with the whole game and that's why it made so in this game and can Partey what on you can bring Partey to come and hold on to the ball. You could have brought it.
It is a Sunday Canada. As the game went on, we needed Partey too. No problem, but he's injured.
So those who are not there are not there. No, Ayla. You prepare for it. You prepare for it in everything. Bibi awuye biano. Now regular life campaign, but we are going away. You prepare for every situation. We didn't prepare well. You prepare for Partey, who or injured. You prepare for because you knew that Jiku was not going to come. What is your plan B? Because it was a team like
Partey, we have not mentioned injury. Partey is not injured. He is playing for Villarreal. Partey is not injured. And we have not mentioned injury. We have already established, say, Partey was part of the first 11. So go injured and come part of the first 11. He was sick. Yes, yeah, doing it.
Partey, I let me.
It was just a I told you, say, Partey was part of the first 11. The evening before, Partey is sick.
So, are you plan B saying?
Ibrahim Suleiman. Now, go back to me. I want to reinforce a new man. And also doing warm up at we seen in here. Also, Osman Muntimimbo, look, because of the results, it makes sense if you question why we should bring Kamaradin any other. But Rich, if you are on the tactical bench, Nasi Abobo ni asha one. We need to kill the game. And Kofona will say, oh, maybe a game they do no. They have thrown caution to air. They want to attack us. And to ban or move anymore. You think say bringing winger be say Ibrahim Kamaradin Suleiman. Say the way Kofona bomb any media. Say in your space or much here. You are bringing a direct winger. Numpo can slow them down. Say, need to mean just Suleiman Hong Kong because pace power. Look, say results and go here. Decision we are making tactically is deemed as wrong.
And if that's the case,
and that is what is happening now.
No, Ayala, your first change.
One after the other. So analyze you be now in a year. You first have to understand why he took that decision. So if you don't mention that, and he said the worker said because of the results, analysis when Otto Addo, I a good coach. Analysis ben. You say Usman were wrong choice. And can you defend them Bombebo midfield? But we have forgotten say at the point that you're doing the game, Rich, we could have also managed the game by getting people who are good on the ball. Just hold the ball. Hold it. You try and you foul. You slow game down.
A lot of people. Almost be satisfied to the ball double pivot. Me, I don't have a problem with playing double pivot. In fact, it's the best thing to do on the African market. And we didn't have a problem progressing the ball. And that's why I didn't go to the tactical board because your two center backs were progressing the ball. I could have analyzed the goal near share for you. The very first time you pass the ball on the that went wide. So we have Kudus in the game. Exactly. So what I'm saying is that you don't just carry to progress the ball. You can also pass to progress the ball. What I'm saying is that why do you make your first change the 77th minute and bring in an attacker? The game was gone. 13 minutes to go. Start time, you know.
Oh, Kofi, you see, baby, mene ayala ya drink kakra. Yes, and mene ayibashu for the CI. Now you didn't command or cassette. More in Central for the sometimes mutitimo couch mu. Na moki kan and then hold on. Oh, maybe bamba.
Number you don't have to.
No.
You don't have to be disrespectful statement.
Listen.
Or energy, somebody also does their job.
You don't get my point. We
can disagree, but when you talk
in coaching, Sabi a chacha to. For instance, I know I'm in game say. At a point, I bought bare 70 minutes. Nami who the reason I see keep it good in the game. Now, South Transfer coach is to a catch say, Mom can game because I need Kudus over to me the ball. So then conforming to me more money. But at the end of the day, I say, so a person so that decision now take here.
But nobody had a
minimum so what my point is here.
Obian can say
what Basiru for the episode
Rich, yeah, 4 substitutions.
Easy.
Rich, we made 4 substitutions in there. I understand. And all respect to coaches. Me, in Kamini coaching here, Jumada, I would have been a rookie. I've worked with a coach before. I've sat down to prepare games before. And I've worked with coaches before in this regard. So respect. And me, in my line of job, disrespect the idea about Kobienti. Where I come from, me a barracks boy, I grew up in a barracks. You dare not disrespect anybody. But Rich, yeah, 4 substitutions in the game. 4 substitutions. All of the substitutions we make were all attackers. All attackers. And I'm saying that, you see, because of the situation, we were forced to bring in attackers. Knowing the things that we knew. You didn't say Patel recently. You didn't say AstroTurf for some issues with. Your friend is Dr. Lee Timoniade. When you speak to these sports and exercise people, they say these things to you. They know it. So you don't put them in such harsh conditions.
And you see, look, I bought a sound phone in. Send me a phone because I can't bear 5 minutes. I'm over Canadian at it. So almost I'm the strikers near there bar. About restrict your movement. You see. And it makes sense. But it doesn't make sense.
You see, as I'm a Fifi, it's not as if I'm not listening to him. But what I'm saying is, say Fifi see 4 changes. All of them were attackers and our problem on one. And I'm mentioning agencies to say, yeah, listen, my friend. We are now informed about 2 situations with 2 midfielders in Suleiman and Thomas Partey. So they couldn't play. They don't come into the discussion. They can't play. So when you say players if you are, you may put a snake account squad and Obiabo game to be a number 1. Number 2, Say, oh, problem why you change now we attack us. Okay, and get for more defenders and Brana. Fine. Let's go to the defense in our call up. You Fifi admit say boy and ka Oma Tariq Lamptey Bobby. Oma Atakun and Bo because of the way they are and the nature of the game. Now you take those players like Oma Mumbona. Oma Kani now we are available. Also played. They played. And that game they played. Salisu boy, Adite boy, Jaro Poku boy, Kalib Yechi boy. So say Oma Mumbona Ambo. Me put this on available no Obia boy. What again could Otto do if not all the changes will be attackers? Because those are the players that were available. That is the simple point I'm making. And because you have a draw, the Otto it will not make sense because Chad there. I want to see a show more.
Otto Addo say Ghana 3 points in a young team and fan featured for holding the nano or the subornable pitch. Pitch nya said we didn't can before class and a bobo game no. I said pitch no and yet I'm not crying no or person in a mountain or first or approach game and on bobo game no. I'm not crying moment to me I'm one sir. Na I say Nini Namuno or Jitum. So Black Stars any chances are now thank you to me kill game no. Because her child for now. Game no, I'm gonna answer defend now no more bokaka. Yenimu omo na mposi trade bia mfa mayen. It is over omo go no kra omo de share Ghana no. I don't say o share game na about 90 minutes no. Omo nya has a chances bi no se miensa pe. The third one na Brante no. A boy deflect e koto e atanim. Into Otto Addo say draw na your boy no e pitch na mo fancha pitch no. Anyo no Otto Addo any players. Oh yeah. Na ye wi no say o de sha pitch there. Nenso asembika.
Very disappointing. Just 1 point for us. Yeah, not easy for us to play. Yeah, on this ground, in the heat. But we have to take it, and I think we came in well to score the first goal. Continue to dominate. We create a lot of chances, but we are not sharp enough to use them. And yeah, for us, unluckily, I think the first shot from Chad, which hit the target, entered the net. It was a deflection. But this is football sometimes, you know. We have a lot of chances. We could have killed the game before, or we must kill the game before, but we didn't do. And they have one big chance. I think there were some wide shots from Chad, but other than that, there was no big chance and one deflection in the goal. And yeah, really disappointing for us.
Okay, and Otto Addo say, I on one additional pitch, now so we disappointed. I on one money players no, because game now boy no. Child for no man posi trade be to us. Omo try say in fact omo nya de ball na child for ni nimbo. It will only say your ball game we na ball don we disappointed pa. We're very disappointed. Our no one ho ni team no omo gitum because omo nya chances are na combat me kill game na omo ntimi and kill a game no. The last voice ni dey yakwa ni be because ani on yene mali game no kwan a obefa so obobo game no ene adina kofi before abebam no me di we na ejo tatana start discussions no
a disappointment pa disgrace you know one say na me se kumase hwe ene Thursday obi apodwuma be rebo no hwe ni pra be hwe just what they one go pitch. What is pitch?
I don't know. Kofi.
Rich.
Otto Addo say a pitch and I'm fancy pitch.
Oh, me, I don't want us to just start with names. Okay. And now you're waiting, Jamena.
Yeah.
I think that we knew the veracity of game na Yekwakobo. Bona Yekwakobo, na Yekwakobo, ewo in Jamena. We knew the condition of the pitch. Ni ni baby a free bars of mine. And you see, Rich, so you're slight researcher, you know that's because Chad of Fono are just close to the border. The best pitches for them are AstroTFC. Because in Suho credit them for them to keep natural grasses, adding. Yeah. So obviously they were going to use such things. So if I knew this, Otto should know. And in your preparation for the game against Chad, we should have probably prepared on one or two AstroTurfs in harsh conditions or in similar conditions. Before we travel to
Gabon.
Yeah.
Near him say game near Kobono
AstroTurf. Exactly.
So the whole game no AstroTurf there.
Yeah.
I didn't think young train no AstroTurf.
On the day our players in Babidru Ghana 16 and Babidru first, we shouldn't have gone to Accra Sports Stadium.
Then emphasis be any.
Thank you, AstroTurf. And AstroTurf ni Kroma. Thank you, AstroTurf ni training. On the second day, you have full training. Or yeah, the second day no be able to full training. So after training on AstroTurf. Initiate also call on the natural grass again. Because again, unless you don't know your geography, Chad in area, it's just in there, in the Sahara. It's also even the overhead video of pictures now, a buyer now. Also around the stadium, and it's a hot place. I don't know. A very, very humid part from a pie drink for you bit me. And why is she? So what I'm saying is that we should have prepared. Which in your 2 games in the this window, the Chad game is supposed to be the easiest. So, say Obiti channel catcher say they don't want to listen to any excuse. It is because that is supposed to be the easiest game. I can understand. Obi Awasha Chad, Ibiana have played Chad away from Chad in Jamena. But it is not enough. Me, I don't see any problem. Say Yambo party. Say no Yario. Say 99 any Yao. We should have won the game without a master party. Me, Otto Addo. I already have started party. Me, party for the a hot AstroTurf. So when you come back, I mean start now. Obey when you have Salis and you have Elisha Usu. And again,
bet me a control game.
Yes, which Oko no Jelanda. Calibrati plays as a midfielder. Or boy, a midfielder. He's not in some games. So midfielder.
At the time, I won't say, but then you have a bono way.
So these are guys can play there again. Makani several times. So Usha is starting centre backs here. They start here now, which we started. You see, when I'm saying this, the people especially with Otto Addo, know my body of work on Otto Addo. You see my body of work on him. One of the few people who have tried to be very objective about Otto Addo and hear conversations about him. Did you see a centre back play? We played Jerome Opoku. Any Jonah Ajete. Very good on the day. But you know what was lacking in those two? Leadership. Bonnie and Lucy Linano. It came down to leadership on the field of play and Otto Addo application and ebini ho. Football, you only want Nia coach ebe chrewo on the tactical board any park so. Any nia who coach no who go do park no so or team no go do park no so mo beye. It is the reason in tia coaches be on ma who say Simeone Inzaghi. Baby aboni be Kobe Simeone Inzaghi di echiri. Bibi aboni be Kobe Aro Diego Simeone di echiri. Antonio Conte. These guys Obia oye din Timono na our assistant and any ding our be say adwuma. And yes, sir, our leaders were parkers. I'll give you a clear example. Sir Alex Ferguson. In the days when Manchester United were winning, Alex Ferguson was not shouting, but no, our leaders were parkers. And you make sure that every time I will line up, you add a leader who will lead in that conversation. Or captain, any vocal person. Jordan, are you on your vocal and then your problem and you're the bunny. Mohamed Kudus, any the most vocal person in the team. Your most vocal people in the team have always been at your defense. Jikuni Salisu. Jiku is out with no fault of his. And in that setup, when you're playing Jerome Opoku and you're playing Jonah Adete, who again on the game were good, but you needed leadership in the second half. That is all we needed. Because now you're drab, Sunday kind of brofumu, and you're lackadaisical, and you're nonchalant. Nothing to give. In fact, Mimisha game no, from the 68th minute, it looked to me that we were disrespecting the Chadians.
And it's true.
We thought, okay, you see, there was a point in time in the game on your bench in the side, now Kudus, any Inaki or one of the attackers We pre bono pre, we are pre manonko pre, we are pre manonko pre, we are pre manonko pre. What are you doing? What are you doing? You see,
no, Kofi, me
in games we say crown. When you play and you prepare well, we didn't prepare well, and it comes down to Otto. We didn't prepare well. Because Rich, yes, you did the mommy fancy.
Yes, started campaign Monday. Game was on Thursday. Right?
Yes.
Monday no crown. I think we started with 5 or 6 players.
It doesn't matter. We should have still gone to an actual turf.
Fine. If okay, so I didn't tell you how them know.
An actual turf, we didn't have to come before we go for that turf. You have to prepare to.
So
when did we travel?
So now the question is. Management committee.
It's not a management committee.
The
coach should propose for it.
Management committee. We knew say Yakobo Asotef. So money some back promises.
Debbie. No nyadwene. Enya management committee adwuma. Una a technical person. Una a technical person.
Yes.
And I also in my preparation of the team, I need A, B, C, D. When you tell them and they don't do it for you, that's why you blame the management committee.
And I'm saying, sir, maybe. That is why I'm saying that. Yet maybe their information so
I don't want to deal
okay.
I don't want to deal with maybes.
Okay.
Because maybe can just be another person saying something else. Me, I don't want to deal with maybes. I'm dealing with actuals. What happened? We train on a natural grass. And it's can train on natural grass. We should have trained on natural turf. And for me, you, the coach, demand stuff like this. In fact, Rich, in game preparation, the plan is drawn by the coach. No management person come close to that. They only execute the plan you give them. And your travel koko PMO in Jamina. We had the chance to fill the stadium. But we filled the stadium at a time that wasn't similar to the time we would have played a game. So that preparation, we were not in the right way to get optimal levels to be able to deliver. And Ushe body koko boy na. Ghana ni bi Ushe game ni bi for the second half to start game no. And you too drab. Like a desi kana via bofana say obia. You see, Rich, do you know something again? You see, Otto has let himself down. He's letting me down. The last time I share about my mail. When I'm done, I'll send him a mail to that effect. Rich, Unim Bibi. In games like this, because Unim se baby abobo ni a humid, you know. Because Unim se baby abobo Parker's wedding, you know. You make use of your substitutions. Your first substitution, we were just making 2 changes. When obviously you only number 6 na woman abre. Say only that time ago neba no Salisu had gone onto the pitch. Yeah. We had changed for Salisu to come in that game. Around that time, that is not the point you take off Jerome Opoku and bring on Salisu like no. At that point, you add up to the quality of the defense and let him step up because I also want to remember calibrate or Medford. Nasa who a problem with or Medford as Omabra. Bring in Salisu to come and play at centre back or midfield because he's a defender. Defenders are similar to midfielders, especially for DMs. And then keep the 2 that you have there. Because Ushe go near consider and reach, it is clear. Ibrahim Osman side and ball if you buy. Yeah. He could not press well. And Ibrahim Osman so catch him and say at that point in time no so abre. After playing 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Which you see,
I'm disappointed in the players. I'm telling you.
You look at Sani Mawi and Otto Addo, if he doesn't take care, there's a thin line between biggie up players. Na Nieman Kuyi na do unsa beto mukuma kase metimasi. Nieme mo ayedin will be fine. And also, you say also players no abasha body. On that touchline, Otto instead of talking to coaches, or players or referees, sometimes I go shout you on some new boys now, because when you are coming on that point in time as a winger. After that, you consider going in the 88 minutes. At that point, it is game management.
And 100% concentration.
Yes, it's a game management. So if Salis Abra, no problem, nipa bre. You need frame. Which on your team near the corner. If you look at the midfielders that we played in the game, we played Elisha Wusu, Elisha Frijiba in Che. And you see, these are some of the things I keep on talking about. Elisha Frijiba in Che. Salis Abdo Sam Frijiba in Che. Which there was no way they were going to give us 100%. And today, you see, only my dear Bakwa an indictment on Otto Addo. Yambam Bedru Ghana. Oh, Fresibo. But Otto shot himself in the foot. Offers the boss on bed because Patefe. When you have two players who are just returned from injury and you are playing on national turf, and you know that the conditions are going to be harsh, after scoring one goal, you shut up shop. You shut up shop. 5-4-1, 4-5-1. What was Kuku doing on the pitch? Ibrahim was one of my betting. At the 70th minute, he was coming to score the second goal. What are we telling ourselves? You shut up shop. Your point game is 1-0. No. You shut up shop. A professional, which your bobo you 1-0 and Canada Ibeka. Professional, you call for 3 points. That's all. How do you let the game go on? Now the Ibrahim Osmanaba. Now the Kamadi Silemanaba. They are coming to drive and dribble. When you are down, you know that the conditions are harsh. Because me TV at Chikwaro, me also to our attack the winner for in Fifre. Into the conditions were harsh. Everybody could see. But in conditions being harsh, that is where you manage games. Did you see? Otto Addo, me I don't have any question about his ability as a coach. When I see people say so need tactics, so need I don't agree with them. But I can't kitty.
A coach, I want to manage a game. Are you a coach?
No, and I make I say, no, that doesn't mean you're a coach. We wait to see my baby. Okay. But in the job in management, you always have to make sure say you find a way to solve problems.
Because and when I go to problem, on to manage a game.
Rich, when under Thomas Tuchel, Thomas Tuchel after leaving Chelsea wrote an article. In one of the articles he wrote, also in assistant Zach Lorry, he was the most brilliant person for him. Put him in here. Every day when they go into the halftime room now, Zach Lorry has noticed things that he Tuchel will not see. Because when you're main man, you have issues. You need to put measures in place in the regard. And you look at the game, 88 minutes. She plays a bench ball. Brahim Osman, Salis Abdul Samed. You DM Abre at the 88 minutes. And we can't take him off. We can't make a makeshift change. Who are defenders or partners? So Jonah Jete Muninano. They can swat in centrally. Add another defender to it. We had players that I was never in for the idea of bringing in Tariq Lamptey, because Tariq is not fit for the African game, especially away from home. On your physical, me mono away from home that. Me Boba by Arabina, me person kita bone come on attack me. I can play him and give him cover. But when he's away at N'Djamena in a very harsh condition like that, I won't do that. I will not do that. Clearly, you take off Antoine Semenyo, now the attacker. No way you not the attacker. When you are chasing the game, oh, I'm disappointed in Otto Addo. I am personally disappointed in him. And only players thing a drop show. And nothing will wash for it. Because every explanation they have given us from our camp, based on the reasoning, almost say, the maximum points. No. All of these explanations, there are ways that you could have prepared for them and circumvented them. You mentioned all of those explanations. And then, Pate Webra. If Pate gets injured, you knew all of the 3 midfielders you played who can play as a 6 or 8 now. They all have injuries in recent times. So you make do. Bring in somebody, especially when you're playing in a harsh condition. Bring in somebody that can be a cover. Or be a utility can cover for all 3. Then, who will start the game? Jiku, who is one of the senior most defenders, is unavailable. Granted, you like the pair of Jonah Jete and of course, Abranti Efredo, what's his name, Jerome. It was good. Almost how much you now about 68, 78 minutes, and you are chasing the game, throwing experience, come and calm down because your attackers know. Nobody is vocal. You see, baby, and I say, Kejumani, I'm going to heading.
Ever be the group in the common now? Yes, the group dynamics in the Yama Tifono and so me abem. Roland Fabricas, I say every day to try to prove to Ghanaians why some journalists told him in the face that he's not a coach. I said, I say, even if we played 1-4-5 formation, we shouldn't have drawn this game. Chad. Okay. And also at the Abraham. All right. I say, yes, we will qualify, but we don't need this symbolic performance to qualify. Very disappointed. I went to a friend on Himba Kobe, or him in Jan, and now this message at the Abraham. This one could be pile. I remember when now.
No contact cardboard, no. But so many 50 in common way about few things be a work and my observation from your squad list now, your friend.
24 no.
So Oko midfield I've already explained the issue with Thomas Partey and Ibrahim Sulemana. So you take them out of the picture because now we are informed omo situation no mo baako yare baako pra ontimi omo ntimi mbo. Rich, you look through the midfielders. Obi abebo ni bi. Omo maka nyina obi abobi. So it's not as if you have a change to make and you are not making it. Obi aboye.
But you know that Ibrahim Osman any particular midfielder.
But I'm saying say we yebo game no. You share game say na esi corner. You need to beef up. Say na can shut up shop. You look in your squad. Players and commit Masati up shop no. Baako pra. Baako yare. Omo maka nyina so you brought them in. So where are you going to bring another player? Number 2, remember. Coming for the defenders na Vivi kano. Se Oshe defenders ni nyina center halves no. Jiku, we have already explained, said that Jiku ni ho. Rick se uye Jiku free wa. Omo maka ni nyina no. They played. Salisu boy, Jerome boy, Ajete boy.
No, but
they so say they should make change. Tell my Jerome Poku pra. Then Salisu came in. You see, I am going to do my analysis.